As you can see, we've got a little bit of a problem with the Buick. It's got a flat tyre. The first part of the exercise is to simply jack the car up and get the wheel clear, or the tyre clear of the ground. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Put a wheel stand or a chock underneath it, just so if the jack fails it's not going to fall on me, and then we'll proceed to undo the nuts around the rim and take the wheel off the rim. Alright, we've got the car jacked up. You'll see around the edge there's these little clamps with bolts on them, or nuts on them, and bolts going through. There's 6 of them in total, and what they do, actually there's 5 of them in total, and what they do is they actually hold the rim here onto the wheel. So what's going to come off is the rim and the tyre together. The spokes with the wheel will remain in place. So all I use to do this is just a brace. I've marked what one I use, and it's just a matter of going around and loosening them off. Okay, I'll just do the top-down view because that's probably easier. A few of the tools that I'll be using, again, rubber mallet, little hammer. This is a vintage tool, a rim spreader, which we'll use when we come back to finish up, and then the tyre irons. So that gives you a bit of an idea of what we're doing, or where we'll be going with this. So I'll get those out of the way. First up, to undo, we've already got all the air out of the tyre, there's nothing in there, it's bone flat. This clip rotates, so we just unping that, and that will, I might just put this on just to prevent. Getting that released off there, and then as I release this, oh well, it didn't go ping, so that's good. Tyre iron, just lift that off, it'll lip over. Gosh, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Let's get you over there, that's it. So that's all the tension taken out of the rim. It's actually loosened the tyre there now. And so we can just take the tyre off the rim, or the rim off the tyre. Might be easier. Let's go with that approach. Okay, so that's first phase done. There we go. That'll work my way around, and that will come out. Not too much fuss. So there's the rim. You can see why it's called a split rim, because obviously it's split. Then there is a flap, which is a protector to stop the rust getting in to the tube, and finally the tube. We'll just put the tyre up over there for a second, because we'll check it for any sharp objects. So I'll just pump this up and see where the leak is. I'll come back to you once I've pumped it up. Alright, I've pumped up the tube, and I can see here there's actually a small leak just right in that seam there. So I'm not going to show you or go through the steps of doing a puncture repair. I'm sure a lot of you have learned how to do this from the days of riding push bikes and repairing your puncture. They're exactly the same technique. Just clean the area, sand it down, contact glue, a patch, roll it on so it's nice and firm, and then test to make sure it's all good. So I'll do that now and come back with once it's been repaired. Alright, puncture repair done. This patch is on, so you can see it's there. I've sort of put a bit of talcum powder on it just to make sure it's all happy. Unfortunately my patches are getting a bit old, so the plastic backing on them is reluctantly not coming, or is reluctant to come off. So I'll now put this back into the tyre, then put the rust band on, rim, all that sort of stuff. So I'll just do all that now. Obviously inflate and deflate it a couple of times just to make sure that it's seated properly. I know what I've done wrong. I've made life very difficult for myself. Normally, that's what this thing's for. It's been such a long time since I've done one of these. Normally, you hook those over the edges. I've been stupid, haven't I? I've made life harder for myself than it needed to be. But normally, you hook those over the edges. Get it. Oh, that one has a hook. And do the old suck the rim in, make it smaller. Of course, I'd forgotten. That just means everything just pops together nice and easy. Silly boy. So now that rim is in place, get the valve so it's sitting nice there, and now we're going to want to expand the rim, increase and stretch it. going to let that run. And that'll just go pop into the spot. A little bit of persuasion. There it is. That dot is located in there. And then get this and tap that lock. Sorry about the noise. Tap that lock over. Just going to make sure that goes all the way. There we go. Tyre back on the edge, and I'll pump it up once more and deflate it, and then pump it and deflate it, just so that it doesn't have any creases in the tube. So, mounting the tyre is the exact opposite. Put the valve hole at the top, as you can see there. Well, actually you can't, it's there. Push the wheel back onto, or the rim back onto the wheel, and then just do it, the nuts and bolts. Usually I go for a short drive around the block, then come back, double check all those 5 lock nuts are tight, and then it's job done. So similar principle would apply to a number of vintage cars, but this is just how I change a tyre on my 29 Buick. If you have any questions, ask away.